I'd like to call this meeting of the Westland City Council to order, please. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance, tonight led by Charles Ajay and Layla Lawrence. If you'll stay right there, Councilman Hurst will come down and talk to you for a few minutes.
He's got it.
Hello, hello. Am I on?
Hi.
Hey guys, how you doing? Turn around, go ahead and turn around so everybody can see you. So today we have Charles and Layla from Hicks Elementary School. They came to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, so I'm so thankful, and Charles showed up real sharp. Way to show me up, I appreciate that. Charles moved here from Nigeria 2 years ago. He's an amazing leader and role model in and out of the classroom. He is a fourth grade safety leader as well. His favorite thing to do at school is read his favorite book. What book is that?
4-minute Marvel Avengers story.
Hey, he's reading. A lot of the other kids are playing video games, so that's fantastic. He also likes to play soccer, football, and hockey. What position do you play in hockey?
I don't play hockey, but I just like it.
Oh, you just like it. Okay, well, I like it too. Don't get me on any ice skates, though. I'm no good at that. So, well, I got a little certificate for you real quick, so I'm going to hand you this. If you can trade places with me with Layla, or trade places with Layla, that'd be great. Our other student is Layla Lawrence. Layla is also an outstanding student. She's a leader in and out of the classroom as well. She's a member of the fourth grade safety squad. Layla likes to draw and read. Now, do you have a book you like to read too, or just any book?
Any book.
Just any book, I hear you. Her favorite subject in school is math. Now, Layla, have you ever heard of Eric Clapton? No? Okay.
What?
He wrote an awesome song about you. You should check it out. It's really cool. Oh, that one, she says. Well, we're really pleased that you guys came out here, and I have a certificate for you as well. At this time, can I get Ms. Saad and the parents to come up and say a few words about our outstanding students? Tell us something you haven't already told us before about these kids.
So I have the pleasure of being their fourth grade teacher this year. This is my second year as a teacher. My first year teaching fourth grade, and I could not ask for two better leaders in the classroom to help me with this experience. They're awesome. They help with anything I need. They're always the first ones to raise their hand to answer any questions, and I know that they're going to do amazing things when they go to Upper L next year.
Wonderful. All right. Well, again, let's give these kids a round of applause. Thanks for coming out today. Miss Saad, don't go away. Can I get the parents up and get a picture? Parents, guardians, friends, relatives? Anybody who just likes the kids and want a picture with them?
Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Green. Present. Councilman Hart. Here. Councilman Hammonds. Here. Councilman Hersberg. Here. Councilman Johnson. Here. Councilman Londo. Here. President Godbout.
Present.
A quorum is present.
We'll begin with announcements and presentations. Deputy Chief Miller.
Yeah. Thank you, President Godbout. My name is Brian Miller. I'm one of the deputy chiefs here at the Westland Police Department. I'm joined up here today by two of our current police service aides, Raquel O'Garrick and D'Angelo McWilliams. Part of the reason that we brought our PSAs in here today is to introduce them to City Council. Now, we don't introduce all of our PSAs to City Council. The reason why we're introducing Raquel and D'Angelo is they're going to be our next two new police officers here at the city. Typically, when you first get to meet our new officers, it's at a formal swearing-in ceremony on their first day of work. However, with Raquel and D'Angelo, their first day of work, they're going to be at the Wayne County Regional Police Academy. The reason why their first day of work is going to be at the police academy is both Raquel and D'Angelo have earned their way onto our police hiring list via way of a chief's exemption program that we have through our police service aid department. So if you work for us as a police service aide for 18 months, you get good employee evaluations, you've shown to be a good employee, the city of Westland has determined we're going to make the investment in you and put you through the academy, which is a big plus nowadays to be able to do, and we get to retain quality employees like this. So another part of the reason we wanted to introduce them today is obviously with them moving on to careers in law enforcement, that's going to open up a couple positions for us in the police service aid program. The police service aid program is a part-time paid position. You work inside the station where you'll answer phones, write some reports, and mainly do prisoner care. So with that being said, we're going to be looking on accepting applications. What you can do to apply to become a police service aide is you can submit a letter of interest and a resume, either in person at the Westland Police Department, or you can email those to psacoord@wlpd.net. That's psacoord@wlpd.net. One of the things we're glad to be able to retain these quality employees. I know Raquel, she's going to be getting her associate's degree upon completion of the academy here. And D'Angelo is going to be getting his bachelor's degree. I think you're finishing up your last classes now. So this has been a great program for us, the police service aid program, as well as the chief's exemption. If there's anybody out there who is interested to get into law enforcement, the Westland Police Service Aid Program is a great way to get your foot in the door, and then hopefully in a couple of years, you'll be able to be sponsored through the academy. Last but not least is, obviously, since we're hiring 2 people off of our police hiring list, eligibility list, that means we're getting closer and closer to the end. So we anticipate sometime early 2019, opening up another application process for entry-level police officer. So just keep an eye out on Facebook and online for that opening. So thank you very much for your time.
Thanks. Good luck.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Commissioner Anderson.
Got a shock there. Thank you. I just wanted to give a quick update. First of all, I'd like to say happy birthday to Council President Godbout. I hear he may be putting together a book on where all senior discounts are. So, but I think that might have been a couple of years back. But anyway, congratulations on another birthday. And I also wanted to mention that the Wayne County Commission recently, just this week, this past week, approved a contract with a company that's going to provide us a comprehensive analysis and strategic county pavement management system and a 10-year plan for improvements to Wayne County roads and bridges. Believe it or not, a county as big as Wayne County, as I discovered when I got there, that there was no such thing as a 5-year plan. And I think virtually every city in the state of Michigan has something like that. Any city of any size has a long-range plan about what we're going to do with their roads and that. And I'm very glad to see that. It was partly, I'm sure there were many others involved in it and getting it done, but it's one of the things that I've been pushing hard since I've been there, since I've been there. We also approved several contracts for projects in Hines Park, including a bike park and improvements to Nankin Mill. You'll see a big improvement in the mill on the ground floor from the ground level, not the old section of the mill, but it's going to be primarily in the educational and demonstration area downstairs on the lower level. And also, Actually, I think that's it for now. I did want to take the opportunity to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving, both here and those that are home viewing this at home. Thank you.
We'll move on to citizens' questions or input on the agenda. Citizens will be recognized before the business of the meeting commences to address the council pertaining to items that are specifically on the business agenda. Citizens are asked to limit their questions or input to 3 minutes. Is there anyone on my left? Anyone on my right? Right?
Anyway, Godbout, happy birthday to you.
Thanks.
Anyway, number C, I was looking at here, introductions of the quarter budget amendment, fiscal year ending. How much was it? And what is it for? Thank you.
Anyone on my left? Anyone on my right? Anyone else in the audience? We'll close citizens' comments on the agenda and move on to the consent calendar. Motion by Councilman Johnson, supported by Councilman Hart. Is there any discussion? There was a question on item C. Mr. Smith?
Through the chair, the amount of the budget amendment, $367,000, and out of the capital improvement fund, and that was for 2 rear-loading bulk pickup trucks for the sanitation.
Thank you. Is there any discussion from the council? Any discussion? Any dissent? Any dissent? Hearing no dissent, motion carries unanimously.
Council has approved the following consent calendar items: minutes of the regular meeting held November 5, 2018, minutes of the study session held November 5, 2018, introduction of first quarter budget amendment for fiscal year ending June 30, 2019, adoption of manpower budget amendment 2019-001, building department, add building director pay grade 2, decrease building planning director pay grade 1B. This item was introduced November 5, 2018. Adoption of ordinance 203Q1, an ordinance to adopt chapter 102, article 5, section 102.235 of the Westland City Code to eliminate illicit discharge into the storm drainage system. This item was introduced November 5, 2018. Adoption of prepared land division resolution, parcels located at the northeast corner of Inkster and Van Born Roads. This land division was approved by City Council September 4, 2018, Planning Department number 2217B. Adoption of prepared land resolution, parcel number 074061205-000, east side of Emerson Avenue, east of Wildwood, south of Palmer. Land division was approved by City Council October 1, 2018, Planning Department number 2218. The last item on the consent calendar is approved. Adoption of prepared land division resolution, parcel number 005020211-302, east side of Hughes Street, north of Ann Arbor Trail. This land division was approved by City Council September 17, 2018, as Planning Department number 2219. Moving to new business, item 1, approval of proposed rezoning from CB1, low-intensity commercial business, to CB3, general commercial business, parcels located at the southwest corner of Ford Road and Hicks Road. Planning Department number 2223. Planning Commission recommends approval and further directs the city attorney to draft the necessary ordinance amendment.
Motion by Councilman Landau, supported by Councilman Hart. Greg?
So for item number 1, and please excuse my my rust with your technology here. Learning as we go. As noted, this is rezoning from low-intensity commercial to general commercial at the southwest corner of Ford and Hicks Roads. That's a photo of the subject property. That's a view looking to the west on the south side of Ford Road there. It's across the street, which is the McDonald's. That shows the fence at the rear of the property, I believe. Also the rear of the property. It does butt up to residential in the rear. It's a gas station at the corner to the east. And that is the corner to the, across the street, I think. There's a conceptual plan of what the applicant would like to, or something like what the applicant would like to construct. As you can see, access would, in that concept, would be from Ford and Hicks Roads. Although this is not, the rezoning does not establish that as an adopted plan. It's only an idea of how they might want to use the property. I think their motivation in seeking the rezoning is to provide for a drive-through, which the CB1 district would not allow, as represented there. Note there is no access to Norma Avenue, which is a residential street, which is there to the west. And that's item number 1.
Are there any questions from the council? Is the petitioner present? Is there any questions from the council? Any discussion? Any discussion? Any dissent? Any dissent? Hearing no dissent, motion carries unanimously.
New business item 2, approval of special land use for proposed body art studio, 33688 Ford Road, north side of Ford, west of Vinoy, Planning Department number 1728B. Planning Commission recommends approval, contingent upon departmental requirements and recommendations.
Is there a motion? Motion by Councilman Hammonds. Is there support?
Support it.
Support by Councilman Londo. Mr. Elliott.
So as noted, this is a special land use in this district. The location is within this strip center that you see represented here in this photo and also in this photo. The property has a fence in the rear that separates it from the residential area to the south. This is Renegades across the street. It's a car wash across the street. It's the liquor store, which is immediately to the west. And I think that's a contractor's office that is immediately to the east of the site. That was a rendering that was done when the building was rehabbed previously. That is kind of what it looks like today. And that is the information I have on this item. As noted, it's intended to be a body art facility within one of the tenant spaces in the strip center.
Thanks. Is the petitioner present? Do you have anything you'd like to add? Are there any questions from the council? Any discussion? Any discussion? Any dissent? Any dissent? Hearing no dissent, motion carries unanimously. Good luck.
New business item 3, approval of proposed site plan amendment, CB2, Shopping Center Commercial Business, southeast corner of Ann Arbor Trail, Merriman, Thrifty Limited 2, Planning Department number 2224.
Motion by Councilman Londo. Is there support? Supported by Councilman Johnson. Mr. Elliott.
This was discussed administratively before I was around here, but I'm familiar with it, and I have spoken with the applicant about it, who is here today. He would like to create an outdoor storage area on this site. You're looking from the south at this store, which is a tile store, as I understand it, at the corner of Merriman and Ann Arbor Trail. It even says that there. So that's looking from the corner across the site. There'd previously been a gas station or something there on the corner, which is a little ratty, some broken concrete in there, and so one of the proposals is to clean that up, put lawn in there, and construct a knee wall, which should be no more than 2 feet in height around two sides of the corner to dress it up a little bit. This is looking at the area where the storage is proposed, and then the view to the south, which is an apartment community. Part of the proposal also is to create another entry to this dumpster enclosure here, put a gate on the south side of it, because the storage area over here will end up blocking the access that is currently available to the dumpster enclosure. This is the site plan. The area to the north of the building there is what's intended to be fenced in as an outdoor storage area. There's detail of the fencing, which is an 8-foot-high vinyl fence. And that's the information we have on that item.
Is the petitioner here? Do you have anything you'd like to add, sir? If you could come up to the podium.
It's pretty much what I'm looking to do. Item number 1, we'd like to erect a fence, put the containers inside. The containers are going to be hidden by the fence, being that they're both 8 feet. Adjust the gate on the dumpster so it's accessible. And we want to clean up the corner, remove the paving debris and the cement debris, and temporarily put soil and grass until different plan is developed at a later date. And we were looking for potential square footage that would be available to us to construct at a later date so we can start looking for a potential tenant. Prior discussions with building department, we were informed that we can build approximately 13,000 square foot total structure, may it be 1, 2, or 3 structures, so long as it doesn't exceed 13,000 square feet. Based on the layout, we would like to confirm that that would be potentially approved, so we can start looking for the client who may consider the property for rental.
Thanks. Councilman Hammonds?
Thank you. Through the chair, I guess I need a little more clearer understanding on what is going to be stored there in this area.
We're looking to expand our storage capacity for our store. We're in the business of flooring, so we would store more or less construction materials inside the containers.
So if I'm envisioning this right, this is going to be containers somewhat like railroad containers? Or pods?
Sea cans.
Okay.
Pods.
Exterior, on the site,
They
covered
would
up
be
with
covered by
vinyl
fencing.
fencing?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you would just see, the sea pods are 8 feet high, the fencing is 8 feet high, plus a 4-inch clearance on the bottom.
Okay.
So basically you would see the fence, vinyl fence, that's it.
And through the chair, is there any other community where you've done this before?
We've done it in Southfield. We have a similar type setup.
What's the location?
It's 26400 West 8 Mile. I can provide pictures of the same. It's very straightforward.
Okay. This is personally, I don't think that this is going to fit in that area. I'm concerned for this going into that location. I'm concerned for the residents up in that area. I don't think it does anything to enhance the community. And this is not personally against you. This is just my thoughts on what's going to go there. I know you've mentioned that you're looking at proposing doing something else on that site down the road, which may be better for that area, but I will not be supporting this. I won't be in favor of it with the way this is currently set up. Thank you.
Can I comment on that?
Sure.
I'm not looking to enhance. I'm looking to erect a fence on my property so I can put it to use, because currently we're not able to use it. previous use of the property was a grocery store, and due to the nature of the business that was there before, they needed excessive parking. Our current use is a flooring store. We have no more than 5 customers at a time, and you have an acre and a half of parking. So we're short on space for storing our materials, and I'd like to be able to operate my business the way I see fit. So we're asking for additional fencing so we can accommodate for capacity. Thank you.
Councilman Hart?
I just wanted to clarify, make sure I'm reading at the drawings correctly. You're planning on utilizing that corner space itself to build that fence and put in your storage containers right on the corner?
No, absolutely not. We're looking to put the fence next to the building.
Okay.
We're looking to clean up the corner and put grass in there so we can improve the aesthetics of the property. Because right now, you have concrete and paving, and it looks like some of the Detroit properties. So we want to improve our aesthetics so that our storefront looks appropriate.
Okay. All right, well, I like the idea of cleaning up the corner and making that marketable. I think I do share my colleagues' heartburn about building a industrial storage space on what will be a commercial corner. I don't think that it's germane to the neighborhood. It would work well with what we're trying to accomplish in that area. We definitely support business, and we want to make sure that you can do what you need with your property, but we also have all the neighborhood around there that we have to be responsible for. Once something's built, it's built there. So I do have some reservations.
It's in the back of a property. I don't know if you have a map available to you.
Yeah.
We're not looking to put anything close to the corner. It's in the back of a property towards the back of a fence. It will not be noticeable. It will simply be part of the existing building.
Councilwoman Green?
Yes, I have a question relative to the fence that you're proposing to install. It's going to be completely, you're going to install, or are you proposing installing a vinyl fence to totally surround the back part of the property where this storage container is at, to where
Yes.
you're saying it's not visible from the road?
No.
And any passerby or neighboring families, the only thing that they will potentially see is the fence and
That's
not
correct.
the storage unit?
Exactly. That's the purpose of an 8-foot fence. So when you're driving by, you're going to see the fence as an extension of a building, and you will not see any kind of storage appearance. It'll simply be a solid fence.
So this fence is actually, and you said what color is it?
It's going to be tan color, so it doesn't stand out.
Okay. And it'll be professionally installed by a licensed contractor?
Absolutely.
So this basically would not look any different potentially from what we see in a residential community with fencing, similar style fencing on the back part of their homes?
That's correct. It won't look any different than anybody's backyard.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilman Johnson?
Thank you. Part of my question was answered. It's going to be a vinyl fence. It's not going to be brick and mortar or block. Is there access from the current building that you'll have direct access out of the current building, or are you going to have to work behind in the alleyway to do your storage?
The proposed fencing is going to have sliding gates, so it would be accessible in a couple of points. Basically, we're planning to access it from the alley side, where it's going to be fence to fence. So the front of the property is just going to look like an extension of the current building.
So it will go on the west end of the current building, stretching out into the parking lot, or on the back of the building?
It's going to be on northwest alley, which is the alley where it's attached to the building.
So
Currently, we have a exit door on the building,
Yeah, I'm aware. I've been
So
there.
that exit door is going to be next to the sliding gate. So we're going to go out of the exit door into the sliding gate.
So it will be in the alleyway or on the west side of the building?
It'll be on the west side of a building facing the alley.
Okay, so your entrance will be from the
Yeah,
alley?
we have to give a 40-foot clearance from the back of the alley, which is what we're maintaining by code.
Thank you.
Is there any other discussion from the council? Any other discussion? Councilman Hersberg.
Thank you. I'll just say I'm in support. This looks like something typical that we'd see at any other major store, and I've gotten a lot of complaints from residents in the area about wanting that corner cleaned up, so I think this will have a positive impact. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Any other discussion? Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Green.
Yes.
Councilman Hammonds. No. Councilman Hart.
No.
Councilman Hersberg.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Londo.
Yes.
President Godbout.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
New business, item 4, approval of voucher.
Motion by Councilman Hersberg. Is there support? Support by Councilman Landau. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any dissent? Any dissent? Hearing no dissent, motion carries unanimously. We'll move on to citizens' comments or requests. Citizens will be recognized at the end of the meeting immediately following the agenda item approval of vouchers. Citizens are asked to limit their comments to 3 minutes. All citizens wishing to speak will be heard. Is there anyone on my left? Anyone on my right? Yes.
Rick Elliott, Westland, no relation to this gentleman, as far as I know. I might have picked the wrong meeting to do this. First of all, I want to say I support the police and the fire department of Westland. Any policeman or fireman has my deepest respect. I know what a tough job this is. But I have something I have to say, and I hope you take it to heart. As you come through Westland from Livonia on Farmington Road between Joy and Ann Arbor Trail, the speed limit all along there has been 40 miles an hour until you cross Joy Road, and then it drops to 25 miles an hour for about a block and a half, 2 blocks. Originally, this was a great idea because there was a school there. The school hasn't been there for years and years, so that speed limit really shouldn't be 40 miles an hour anymore. It should be 25. I mean, it shouldn't be 25, it should be 40. One of the police officers in Westland likes to hide in there's a little condominium neighborhood right in the corner of Ann Arbor Trail and Farmington and catch people coming down there. He hides right behind the sign that says private property. This doesn't seem right to me. I don't believe he has permission from any of the residents in there to hide in there. I know I certainly wouldn't want him in my driveway. And I watched him I believe last Thursday. In about 5 minutes, he got 3 people. And then he backed out, did an illegal U-turn, and reset his trap again. So I'm asking the chief of police, tell him to stop doing that. If he wants to enhance his revenue or give evidence of activity, go across Farmington. There's a pad there, a concrete pad where the school used to be, and he'd be very visible, okay? It just doesn't seem the way that I want police officers of Westland to comport themselves, to hide. These people aren't felons. A lot of them probably don't even know the speed limit had dropped there because there's no reason for it to drop there anymore, okay? But what really ticked me off when I watched him is after he gave the tickets, he made an illegal U-turn And remember, he's not on police business now. He's just resetting his trap. And this is a trap. He's resetting his trap. He's making an illegal U-turn that if I had made it or any of these people in the audience had made, they'd get a ticket for doing it. Driving, ignoring traffic laws is not a police benefit unless they're on police business. And he was not on any police business. He was just setting a traffic trap. And I'm asking the chief to tell his people not to do that anymore. It's not right. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Elliott.
By the way, he didn't catch me. I've been in that neighborhood my whole life. I know what the speed limit is.
Chief?
Through the chair, sir, I guess the best answer I can give to you is it's something that you obviously don't like to see the police officer there, but you have to realize that our traffic bureau is there upon complaints of the public. So when they're calling the police department and they're complaining of speeders, that's why our traffic bureau is in those areas, because other people are complaining about the speeders in the area, and that's why our officers are stationed in that exact spot. So, thank you.
May I respond to that, please?
No, we can't get into the back and forth during the meeting right now, so. Is there anyone on my left? Anyone on my right? Mrs. McKinney?
I just want to know what's going on with the newspapers that are being thrown in, because we got them in the ditches in Norwayne and everybody's yard, and they're full of water, and it's been 2 weeks, so is it going to stop? Because it needs to. That's it.
Anyone on my left? Anyone on my right? Mr. McDermott?
Good evening to the council and the deputy mayor. Just a couple of quick questions. Number one, if the site plan from the tile store from the Southfield location is provided, can that be made public so that we can see how the storage facility looks at their Southfield location and how it's going to potentially look here in Westland? And then number two, has U-Haul given an occupancy date for when they plan on opening the location at the Wayne and Cherry Hill, the old Kmart location for the new U-Haul storage facility? And then I'd also like to take the time to wish everybody a very happy and safe Thanksgiving holiday. Thank you.
One on my left. One on my right.
I just want to say, man, 2018, I don't know where it's going, but it's been moving. I've been really busy. And I did a webinar this year, and I'm telling you, 200 people have seen it. And now I got it on YouTube, and people really enjoy it. I inspired a lot of people out there. And it's good. It's good to talk about the history and where are people going today. It's very important to me. And also just got picked for the Recipient Rights Advisory Board, where I can see and be a voice for other people with disabilities. And I think it's great. I'm doing good things out there and I'm going to keep driving it out there that way. And I think, the Westland Police are doing a good job. When I see them out there, maybe there is a purpose that, like Jeff said, that traffic bureaus are out there if people are complaining. So, fire department's doing a good job too. So anyway, happy Thanksgiving there. And the Westland Police Department, all. Anyway, happy Thanksgiving. Thank you.
One on my left. One on my right. Mr. Graham.
Good evening, Council, and also Deputy Mayor Reddy. A few items tonight. Actually, a couple questions first. This is Richard Graham with Move Westland Forward. Been having residents ask us when the trash pickup will end. So If there's an end date, I can get that out and put out when the leaf or the trash pickup would end. Second, regarding last week's or 2 weeks ago's meeting, there was plans or approval done on MERS and the employment benefit submitting for corrective action. Do you know if that's been submitted, been approved by the state or whatever agency that was supposed to be done by? So those are my 2 questions. The rest, I guess I have a few comments. First comment is regarding the approval of the storage facility today. Nothing against the storage facility or the owner, but I don't know if I've ever seen an approval of plans that seem not to be, well described, well known with pictures, what it's really going to look like, where it's going to be placed. There seemed to be a lot of confusion about that. So just very surprised that that was approved. Maybe it's a great thing for the location, maybe it's not, but just didn't seem to be a lot of good information here to tell what this is really going to look like. Next, regarding the meeting ago with the corrective action plan, want to highlight this for citizens that don't know. What was approved was a corrective action that the city had to submit because our MERS, and this is the payments made to employees, that are far below what needs to be, what's recommended. And the plan just to be 60% funded, and that 60% funded takes that until 2030. Seems a long time. There's another fund for employee benefits called OPEB, I guess. That plan was just to be 40% funded, was 2043. Kicking the can down the road by 45 years just to get 40%, kicking the can down the road 32 years just to get 60% funded. When you got other communities like Livonia, which I believe is fully funded, businesses look at that. When they come into the city and they do an analysis, and they're good at doing analysis, when they see those type of obligations and the minimal amount being paid, our budget is about $100 million when you include water and sewer. All you're putting in extra is $500,000, $500,000. That's less than 1%. Why in the world are you kicking the can that far down the road and allowing Mayor Wild to kick that can further down the road after all these years? Thank you.
Is there anyone on my left? Anyone on my right? Yes, sir.
I resent the comment that was made about the application. I spent 6 months developing it. I also hired a professional engineer and an architect. I paid $3,700 for blueprints. I had a contractor from the fencing company review the project, make sure that it complies to things such as being a vinyl fence, and make sure that it doesn't look offensive and it doesn't stand out. So the email was sent with the blueprints for the council review. The specifications for the fence were reviewed as to what the city standards are. They were met, and I think the gentleman should do his research before he makes such a comment.
Anyone on my right? Anyone on my left? Anyone else in the audience? We'll close comments, citizens' comments, and move on to comments from the administration. Deputy Mayor?
Thank you, Council President. Just a couple quick things. Just wanted to make everybody aware of November 27th at 6 p.m. Doors open at 5:30 for the Mayor's State of the City, which will be here at City Hall. Again, that's November 27th, 6 p.m. Doors open at 5:30. Just wanted to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving and a safe Thanksgiving. And would like to welcome our 2 new future police officers through the PSA program. Chief, it's a great program you guys are offering through there. Bringing some of these younger folks up through and giving them the chief's exemption was a great idea. And it's certainly bringing them up from the bottom, get them into the ranks. So congratulations on that successful program. And I too would like to wish President Godbout a happy birthday and about 10 other people birthdays in November. So we won't push them all out there. And then last but not least, again, just a happy Thanksgiving. And I do know that Mr. McDermott, that at the U-Haul property, they are doing some work over there. They've been doing some work on it, but I can get an occupancy date and then let you know. Thank you, council.
Thanks. Anything from the city attorney's office this evening? Begin council comments with Councilwoman Green.
Thank you, Council President. I would like to start by thanking the two students who joined us tonight to lead the pledge. Also would like to remind the community that on Saturday, December 15th, I will be having my very first large community event here in the city of Westland. It is a Westland Community Health Summit. It's going to run from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. on that Saturday. It's going to be a free meal for anybody who shows up, and the food will be provided by Westland businesses and restaurants. And just to give you an idea of the services that will be provided that day, free blood pressure screening will be provided by Oak Street Health. Our very own Westland Fire Department will be providing a CPR training, non-certified, of course. St. Mary Mercy Livonia Hospital, or Health System, will be offering balance testing, which is a specific health service for senior citizens, and that testing or balance testing will be offered or administered by physical therapists. Wayne County Mental Health Authority will be offering mental health resources, and I would like to specifically thank the two residents in the city of Westland who reached out to me to ask if we could have them join us that day, and we were able to get them to commit. So those residents are Blake Perry and Hank Johnson. Thank you for making that recommendation. Also, Beaumont Hospital will be joining us with nutrition resources. Hygera Health System will be offering addiction, depression, and anxiety resources. Coincidentally, the last day to register for the Affordable Health Care program is Saturday, December 15th, so we are tentatively confirmed for an organization who will join us for the Health Summit and who will have computers readily available for anybody who does not have access to a computer or who may have literacy issues. They can come to the Health Summit and get signed up for the last day of the Affordable Care Act, which will take place in 2019. We will have a company here that will offer alternative transportation services for seniors. That's going to be an alternative option to our current Nankin Transit program. AARP will also be here, and we will, this will be an annual event that I plan to offer, and so we have quite a few health systems coming in. And we're hoping to confirm just a couple more. We're in discussion now, but it definitely is going to be something great to offer to the residents, and everything is completely free. I would also like to offer a very special thanks to a man that many of you may know in our city, Vic Barra, who runs the Wayne Ford Civic League on Wayne Road. This weekend, I was able to participate in our annual program where we offer free Thanksgiving meals to veterans. And that was really a treat. My father is a Army veteran, so that was, this is my first time actually, my first year being elected to council. So I was able to participate this past weekend, and it was very nice. And one of the highlights is that during that that event, we had several seniors who were not able to come in and pick their meals up. So some of the elected officials volunteered to go to homes to do deliveries. And there was one particular gentleman that I went to his home to deliver his food, and I ended up going to the wrong house that had a similar address number, but it wasn't his. And coincidentally, I knocked on the door of a 92-year-old resident in our city who did not have food for Thanksgiving. So she would not have had a meal had I not made that mistake. So after I was able to deliver the food to the man next door, I went back and I told Vic about the issue, and I asked him if I could take food. And of course, he said, we always have extras. And so he packed it up for me, and I was able to drop the food off to that woman who actually is the wife of a Korean War veteran. So that was like that was the highlight for me, the total event. And I don't believe that mistakes happened. I believe that was divinely ordered. And I'm a firm believer that sometimes God will make even a mistake cause a blessing for somebody who was in need. So thank you to Vic and everybody who participated and has anything to do with that annual event. It was an absolute honor. Would like to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. I hope it's safe and full with lots of food, love, and laughs. And lastly, just wanted to offer a save the date for the upcoming Deck the Halls event that we will have here at City Hall on Wednesday, December the 5th. That's going to be with Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus and lots of other fun events for the families and children. And that will be on December 5th here at City Hall at 5:30. Thank you very much.
Councilman Hammonds.
Thank you, Council President. I too want to thank and congratulate Raquel and D'Angelo. Looking forward to working with them here in the future and wish them the best of the luck. I do just want to touch on a couple of things with regards to the storage facility. When I run for office and I campaign and I knock on doors up in that area in the northeast corner, that community, that area, they feel like they're like the lost part of Westland. And they really, really want some new commercial injection into that area. And unfortunately, I didn't think an exterior storage facility with vinyl fencing with containers, I don't think that does anything for our residents. I don't think it does anything to enhance the city of Westland or improve our community. That's a high-traffic residential area. My job as a council person is to protect the property values and improve the neighborhoods in the city here. So again, I still don't agree with it, and I hope some of the decisions up here tonight weren't made on promises of what may happen in the future. We've got to look at what's currently going on. That's it for me. Thank you.
Councilman Hart.
Thank you, Council President. Again, regarding to the turkey event that my colleague Tashua McGreen spoke about, it's a fantastic event. I was glad to see you there this year. I've been doing it for a number of years, and it's a really fantastic event. My daughter and my family, we usually show up every morning and pack it up, so it's something we've been doing every year, and it was nice to see many more people, especially a couple new faces out there. It really does a lot for the spirit, does a lot for the soul, and it's the appropriate and salutary thing to do for our veterans. With that, I'll also again give another delayed Happy Veterans Day to all my brothers and sisters who have served, so thank you. With regards to the storage facility, I'll kind of echo most of what my colleagues said. I too, when I walked that neighborhood, we did hear a lot of things. They really want an injection of some really good, sustainable, new business facilities there that are really going to, develop and build the surrounding property values. And it's a tough job for us sometimes to say yes or no. I love what you said you're going to do for the corner. I hope you do it. The corner is what I'm really focused in, but I do continue to hold the same reservations about an outdoor storage facility on a premium piece of real estate on the corner with, shipping containers. I know what those look like. I've been around them a while, and typically they just don't look good. I don't care how much fence you put around them. Regardless, the decision was made up here in the council. It was 5-2 in support. So the decision was made, and I'm going to support you moving forward in anything we can do to make sure it works. We'll move forward. The decision was made, but I did say that I didn't agree with it. So good luck. Let's work together and make sure it works in a minute. To answer the question, the website, curbside recycling, according to the calendar, ends December 14th. That's what's on the calendar, the city calendar. With that, I will end with I wish you all a safe, happy, healthy, calorie-infused Thanksgiving. It is my favorite holiday of the year simply because the only requirements of me are to watch football, drink a little bit of beer, make a lot of turkey, and enjoy the company of my good friends and family. So with that, I hope you all enjoy the day, have some turkey, sing a bar of Alice's Restaurant, and walk right out. Have a good time.
Councilman Johnson.
Thank you. Judy, I must respond on the newspapers. It's not only in Norwayne, they're still throwing them all over town. If I could, through the chair to the city attorney, what is our process for enforcing that ordinance we passed? Because they are not going to stop unless we do something.
Through the chair, we've discussed previously that it would be wise to, notwithstanding the publication of the ordinance, to notify the 2 or 3 offending newspaper companies that seem to be doing this. Ultimately, it'll be ordinance officers writing tickets and those being dealt with by the prosecutors in the district court. It'll be necessary to identify, obviously, the offending entities that are tossing the papers so that the appropriate tickets can be written. So I don't know if there was any further notification given. There was some discussion in the last meeting that might be done out of the clerk's office. But at this stage of the game, we need to have some tickets written for enforcement purposes.
Just further question, when the ordinance officers start, would it be a violation for each newspaper thrown, or is it going to be one major violation for $25 fine and see if that stops them?
Well, we do have an escalating charge in there for repeat violations. I doubt that the courts will apply it per paper for 25,000 papers in the city, if that's the assertion.
That's the question.
But again, it'll start with an identification of who's distributing what. Maybe it's multiple distributors, so there may well be an opportunity to hit them with more than a single initial violation based on who's doing what, where, and when.
Okay, and I don't know that the notification was sent or not. If it wasn't, I would like to see it sent, and I would like us to start enforcing that. It just doesn't make sense if we're going to pass an ordinance and we don't make those people adhere to it. Enough of the newspapers. Congratulations if you would give it, Chief, to our 2 new officers tomorrow. I like your program, too. Those guys get a chance for 18 months or 2 years to see how you guys operate over there, so I think they have a head start on the other ones coming in that's never done it before. So if you would, give them my congratulations. I'd like to wish everybody a safe and happy holiday. And Jim, I'm not going to get to watch as much football as you, but I am going to eat probably more than you. But everybody have a good and safe holiday. Thank you.
Councilman Londo.
Thanks, President Godbout. I also want to start by thanking Raquel and D'Angelo, or excuse me, congratulating Raquel and D'Angelo, the 2 new PSAs. I had a chance to meet Raquel when I did a police ride-along last summer, and she's going to be a fine officer for us, and D'Angelo is one heck of a basketball player, too. He played pretty well against the fire department out there in Norwayne. I also want to send a congratulations to each of the candidates who voluntarily ran for office to serve their respective communities. We all know up here running for office is no easy task, and it can be mentally and physically exhausting on you, not just for the candidate, but for everyone around them. That being said, I also want to thank the Westland City Clerk's Office and all of our election workers for a well-ran, record-setting election, I believe. I also want to thank Vic Barra as well. I got a few points on him. I want to start with, due to the election, the Westland Comets cheerleaders had no venue to practice. They usually practice at Marshall Middle School. So 4 days before their cheer competition, they had nowhere to practice. Made a phone call to Vic Barra. He stepped up and graciously opened his doors to the Wayne Ford Civic League so the girls didn't miss an all-important practice. So didn't stop there. I made the news this last week for a compassionate act along with Councilman Hart for the wheelchair ramp. If you didn't see that, check it out on Local 4. Click on Detroit. And it doesn't end there. As a couple of my colleagues mentioned, the Wayne Ford Civic League in partnership with the City of Westland held its 5th annual Veterans Appreciation Meal. I was proud to donate and also help with distributing those holiday meals this weekend as well. City of Westland appreciates our veterans, and it's one way for us to say thank you for them for serving our country. Back to the WIAA, at the last council meeting, I mentioned that we had 4 teams participating in the Super Bowl. 2 of our teams came home with as Super Bowl champions. The Westland Meteors Junior Varsity won the Super Bowl, and the Westland Comets Junior Varsity finished an undefeated season, and they beat their crosstown rival Westland Meteors in the Super Bowl. So congratulations to both of them. I want to thank WLND for coming out and capturing some highlights of that event. So make sure to check that out on WLND. It was a cold day out there, but I appreciate them coming out and capturing some of that event. Also, that same weekend there was what do we call it here? The cheerleaders rally at Belleville High School, and the Westland Meteors freshmen took a silver medal, and then the Westland Meteors junior varsity won gold in dance. I had a front row seat as I was the announcer, and I'll tell you what, all 8 of our Westland teams did a fantastic job, and they all were deserving of a medal. Our Westland Shop and Dine campaign has officially kicked off, so be sure to shop small this Saturday for Small Business Saturday and as much as possible this holiday season. Our city really does have everything you want and everything you need. So right here in Westland, so make sure to keep your dollars right here in Westland. And with that said, this Sunday, November 25th, will be the Westland Police Department's Stuff a SWAT Truck event, located at Target at 35401 Warren Road, from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. And then new this year, there's going to be free pictures with Santa Claus with the donation of a new unwrapped toy. I want to thank Dramatic Dimensions Entertainment for the assistance with the photos. The Stuff a SWAT Truck event is held to benefit the Westland Goodfellows No Child Without a Christmas program, which supplies local children and parents with gifts that they may not receive. And last couple things, I want to thank the Westland Fire Administration Public Awareness Committee. The community outreach is in full effect thanks to their successful flash fire event a few weeks back. Recently, 2 new soccer nets were purchased for St. Matthew Lutheran School in Westland. Providing them was not enough, though. We had to help break them in. So the students challenged members of the fire department last week into a game on their home turf. Both sides had a blast and hope to make this an annual event. And I don't know what they were thinking, but they invited me to play once again. Chief, are you ever going to stop inviting me? I'm 0-3 as a player playing in any of these, events with the public safety events. And then to top that off, they put me in goal. So thanks, put me in goal, and we did lose. I guess we kind of gave the last goal up just because we got to let the kids win. But with that, just have a safe and happy Thanksgiving from my family to yours. Thank you.
Councilman Hertzberg.
Thank you. I'll start by just giving another plug for that Stuff the SWAT Truck event. That goes to benefit No Child Without a Christmas. It's held by the Westland Goodfellows. Actually, the Stuff the SWAT Truck event, that'll be at Target on Warren Road. They'll be there from noon to 4 on November 25th. And anybody who wants to donate can bring an unwrapped toy to fill the truck up. It's usually a hit. They usually fill the truck up, if not more. So I think that'll be another success. I just want to thank a couple of the residents that brought some concerns forward. I know around town, maybe last year, we had tried to tweak some of the speed limits and things like that to make them more even throughout the year. So maybe that's something we could look at for Farmington Road. I know even Livonia 2 years ago, they had increased some of their speed limits. So when you come into Westland through the border, there might be a significant difference. Regarding the newspaper delivery, we've got to go after that. If we don't enforce that, who knows what else? These businesses, they're going to not listen to our ordinances and not respect council decisions. This could spread. So I hope we can get that taken care of. Happy birthday, President Godbout.
Thanks.
And then congratulations and good luck on your business. I know the storage facility like that, there's several of them around town for stores. We approve them for fast food restaurants to do storage outside. This is very typical. All the information, some of the questions that were asked by council, the information was in the packet. So that's it for me.
Thanks. I'd like to start by thanking Charles and Layla for leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance, the 2 students from Hicks Elementary. Please support the Stuff a SWAT Truck event. It goes to a great cause, and there's lots of people that are in need in throughout our community. So, also the Community Foundation is collecting toys for the Salvation Army, who again try to take care of as many families as possible within our community. They have collection boxes placed at several locations throughout the city. And they'll be collecting them up until December 7th so that they can get those toys to the Salvation Army and get them properly dispersed to the families. The locations for those drop boxes are here at Westland City Hall, at the Fantastic Sam's on 141 Wayne Road, Westland Lock and Key at 35665 Ford Road, and the Westland Community Foundation office, which is at 38110 Executive Drive. Now that the election's over, we're in the lame duck session of the legislature, and there are several things that are going to be taken up during this lame duck session that can negatively impact the community from a cost standpoint and a revenue standpoint. One of them is the small cell legislation and the impact that it has on our ability to regulate our rights-of-way. And so I know that that's one item coming up. The other part of that, even though it's not necessarily part of our legislature, the FCC is also looking, because of the small cell legislation, to look at how PEG fees get distributed. Both of those items can negatively impact our existing cable franchise agreements and what we collect that allows us to put together programming and have the cable channel available and the resources to do that sort of programming. So those are two of the items. The third item is Senate Bill 943. And I met with Senator Nov on this item, who was the sponsor of this legislation, or this Senate bill. And basically, they are determined, both because it was the governor's top priority to put through this surcharge in order to help fund recycling and the brownfield cleanups. And the way the legislation is currently drafted, it would take the tipping fees from 36 cents per ton to potentially $4.44 per ton, which, based off of the volume that we take to a landfill, will have significant consequences to our ability to maintain the current sanitation service. Now, as part of this legislation, there is supposedly revenue sharing coming back to the community. We all know how revenue sharing works from the state. Trust me, we'll give it back to you at some point in time. Particularly in communities, and their thought was that this revenue sharing would help the communities establish a recycling program on their own, as well as help fund the brownfield. We have about an 80% participation rate from our residents currently in a recycling program. This program is not going to necessarily enhance Westland's recycling capabilities, but it will negatively impact our cash flow from having to fund this additional tax. Now, the reality is they don't think the 444 will go through, but the last number I heard out of Michigan Municipal League was it's probably going to be about $3 to $3.50 per ton. That is an additional fee that comes on these communities. So I would encourage everyone to get a hold of your legislature, although it appears at this point in time that during the lame duck and with the governor willing to sign this, that some form of action is going to take place during this lame duck session. I too would like to congratulate Raquel and D'Angelo for their moving on to the police academy from our PSA program. It's a great program, Chief, and you know, we're very fortunate that we're able to get some fine individuals to move up and become police officers here in the very near future. And with that, I'd just like to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving and a safe Thanksgiving, and go Lions. Is there a motion to adjourn?